Welcome to On the Move.
I also like to talk with my hands, so I'll go ahead and get this set up. I just want to take a moment to start this out and give a couple of moments of silence for another shooting at Fort Hood and victims, folks serving in the military who, on our own soil, are unable to defend themselves. So if we can just take a moment and kind of bow our heads for those folks. Thanks. There's a natural order to the universe, and it's something that's forgotten in societies where the people have become subdued, distracted, or subjugated. And this natural order has been spoken and affirmed throughout history, and it's referred to as natural rights or natural law. All right, now there are two types of law. There's the governed law, or the law, and then there's natural law. And when these two laws are in opposition, it's our duty to violate those laws, right? It's our duty to violate obstructive governance in favor of natural law. We declared that to tyrants 238 years ago, and we're out here doing the same thing today, right?
That's right.
Absolutely. We said 238 years ago that life, liberty, and property are natural rights that we as free men and women have an obligation to protect from destructive governance that would otherwise restrict the free practice thereof. Or simply put, it's our duty to disobey unjust laws, right?
Yes, it is.
Absolutely. And that's why we're here today, in solidarity and in warning. In solidarity with those who are practicing their civil disobedience in Connecticut, but also in New York and other territories and municipalities in this free land where we are under the threat of registration, restriction, and disarmament. And we're here to give a warning to our leaders, some of them who are here today, so hopefully Mr. Hunt is listening. It's a warning.
I'm taking a picture.
There you go. Excellent. Pay attention, because this is for you. So we're here to give a warning to our leaders in the State House. We're on their lawn, on our lawn. Also for the folks in the federal government and our candidates who are running for federal government. You can pass all the unjust laws you want, but we have an obligation to liberty, to defy tyranny and unjust laws.
That's right.
This is for you guys. Free men and women will meet force with force
Yes, we will.
in the resistance of evil.
That's
All right?
Yeah.
Because it's our duty to protect our natural rights and our natural law, our self-defense. Thank you. And to this end, and in concert with the Second Amendment, but not also the Second Amendment, 100 years after the Second Amendment was drafted, Article 1, Section 24 of the state constitution, right, says very clear words that we have a natural right to defend ourselves, defend our home, defend our family, and defend our state. That's what we've been talking about for the last hour or so. We have a right, all right, a natural right. We also have a right, in support of this, to have unfettered access to modern arms and ammunition to protect and defend ourselves as we see fit, not as the government says we can do it. They can't tell us what we can own and what we can't own. We have a natural right to say we're going to defend ourselves in the manner that we see fit. So if you want to have your scary black guns on the back of your back, right? There are some folks who don't believe that you should have those. You have to have a musket because that's the way that the founders intended it, really. So make no mistake, though, that right now, the government of the United States is mounting an army against us. Right? They're militarizing police forces. They're restricting arms and ammunition. How many of you guys have gone and tried to buy ammo? They're registering our names. And they're targeting lawful gun owners. They're raiding gun shops, harassing gun dealers, owners, and traders. And yet, the majority of the leaders in these buildings, majority, not all, they've remained silent. Thank you for being here. So I ask, where are the champions for liberty? Where are the champions for our natural right? Present company excluded. They're not here. Because they are no champion to liberty. They're part of the problem. They're silent. Now, a few years back, I worked on a presidential campaign and heard a story told time and time again where this particular candidate had brought his family to Europe, and he had a small daughter at the time, and they ended up in one of the death camps in Poland. And about halfway through the tour, he told the story and said, well, my daughter turned to him and looked and said, how did people let this happen? Right? How did people let this happen? Well, we know that because evil triumphs when good men do nothing. All right? And history has shown that evils associated with firearm registration and confiscation is prevalent everywhere. But not unique to Eastern Asia or Soviet Russia or even pre-war Germany. Right here in the United States, we have a bloody history of our own. Registration legislation like I-94 is the first step to those evils. It's the first step in setting the stage to forced confiscation. Now, we can say, nobody here would of course say that, but we hear folks say the government would never do anything like that. Our government's not violent, right? Little history lesson. 1890, I'm going back a little bit, but here we are. Wounded Knee, South Dakota. All right? Forced confiscation, the murder of 90 men and over 200 women and children. Shot and killed on the plains, and their bodies left there and then buried in a mass grave by the U.S. government. All right? Orangeburg, South Carolina, 1968. 9 highway patrol officers killed 3, shot 28, most of them in the back, for protesting their government. Now this is for civil rights. Kent State, Ohio, 1970. Representatives of the state and federal government opened fire into a group of protesters, killing 4, wounded 9 others. Ruby Ridge, Idaho, 1992. Getting a little bit closer to our time here. U.S. Marshals, FBI, ATF, holding an illegal campaign against an individual who refused to be an informant. Murdered 2, wounded 2. Shot a woman through the head while she was holding her 10-month-old baby. New Orleans, Louisiana, 2005, post-Katrina. Forced confiscation, large scale. Getting pretty close to home here, aren't we? 2014, San Diego. ATF, violating a court restraining order, seized customer lists, computers, gun parts. It's a month ago, San Diego. All right? Our government has a history of violence against gun owners, bloody violence. So I ask you guys this question: how come people let this happen? Where are our leaders for liberty? Where are the champions? Where are they? Where are those who are going to fight these current abuses by our government? Where are those who are vocalizing the dangers?
Right here.
Are they seated in those halls?
No.
Present company excluded. Look around you. You guys are the champions. You guys are the voices. The voices for our liberty, for our rights. And there are those of us around you who are willing to stand up, take the message to the halls behind us, and we're going to challenge those who would otherwise watch liberty die. We're standing with you. We're ready to fight as long and as hard as we must to secure our rights once and for all. We need strong defenders of liberty, not folks who are just going to pay lip service to liberty. So my name is Steve Nielson, and I'm running for state representative in Washington's 2nd Legislative District. Not against this gentleman over here, but against one of his I just want to let you know, the state deserves a champion. A vocal champion. So I want you guys to check out my campaign. Join us as we take our message to the halls of our state house that we will absolutely defend our natural right to arms and ammunition. I will not be idle in these actions, and I will not pay lip service to liberty. We own the moral high ground, and damn well we intend to hold this position. Thank you, and God bless.